Hello students, today we'll talk about pre-industrial society. So let me share my screen with you all. So pre-industrial society refers to specific social attributes and forms of political and cultural organization that were prevalent before the advent of the Industrial Revolution. It is followed by the industrial society. So when we say pre-industrial society, we do understand that society where this political social attributes were uh, different from the present culture that we are experiencing or that we see around the society. Okay. And it is said that pre-industrial society has occurred before industrial revolution. After pre-industrial society, the next type of society we find is that of the industrial society. Now let me go to the next slide. Uh, in the next slide, it presents the period of pre-industrial society. It is from 1300 to 1750, where it is said that work and social life are mixed together. Secondly, the second point talks about the way of life of the children. Children learn to milk cows, churn butter, and farm animals. It means that in the process of socialization in the pre-industrial society, children used to learn the process of how to milk the cow, how to churn butter, how to farm animals. So they were taught all these things by their elders. Thirdly, it is said that farmers relied on tools that changed little over time, such as wooden plows. So, in pre-industrial society, the tools that are used by the farmers were also not that of the modern days. For example, that we see tractors or other equipment that are used by the modern farmers. Rather, the tools were also of made up of wood. Okay. Now coming to the next slide, I have just shared a picture of you of pre-industrial society, and this picture very nicely elaborates and says that how a pre-industrial society was. We can see animals, we can see people in the farm, and we can see some greenery. Though the picture is not much clear, but still we can get the idea like how the society was. And we can say that there is absence of buildings or modern roads or whatever things that we do experience in our modern life. So people used to be in the fields, people used to gather there, people used to talk among themselves. This is how the social relationship or social cohesion is maintained. At the same time, in the field, the animals used to gaze, or as you have seen that they learn the process that how they are to treat the animals which are used for the process of cultivation and other work. In the same time, grasses are also there, so and the animals can have the food. They will spend time there, and after their activity in the field is over, they used to return to their respective places. And this type of characteristics, their students, are still you can find a very much in prevalence with the characteristics of the rural society. But yes, if we see those rural areas in our country or other areas which are very much close or near to an urban area, this not peculiar, sorry, this particular type of characteristics you will not find. Okay, so this is how pre-industrial society looks like. Now, characteristics of pre-industrial society. Let me just read it out. Most people lived and worked on farms. So, farming or depending on animals was a source of livelihood of the people, and the picture in the background is also showing the farmer is cultivating, isn't it? Then it is said that wealthy nobles control the land. So in pre-industrial society, the land was controlled by the nobles, means a particular class of people. We don't find that everyone was controlling the land. Agricultural method had not changed drastically for centuries. People rarely traveled. So this process of cultivation or agriculture with the help of animals and wooden uh, tools or mm, instruments continued for a long period of time, and agriculture continued in that process for a long period of time. And it is said that people traveled rarely. So, in pre industrial society, people were mostly confined to the places they were born. Maybe it's an urban area of that period of time of the pre industrial society, or the rural area. They were confined to that place only. They they grow there, they spend the time there, and ultimately they die there. So the process of traveling, which we find so frequent these days, that you not witness in pre-industrial society. Next, inefficient method used to plant and harvest crops. So another lacuna or demerit of pre-industrial society is that the methods of harvesting the plants and crops were not efficient. It were not very good one if we look into or compare with the present society. Next one, communication between towns and cities was slow and infrequent. Okay. As transport and communication system was also not there, people rarely traveled. So it was said that communication between urban and rural area is also very slow, unlike what we find in our present day society. Next says that people supplemented their income by mining. That uh, give me a second, and by working out from of their home. So mining was the source of their livelihood, apart from farming, okay, and from taking care of the animals. Next two point says that infant mortality is high and life expectancy is short. So these 2 points elaborate that health system or medicine facility or healthcare facility was not sound, as infant mortality was high and life expectancy was also short. Now, some more features of pre-industrial societies are there. Small scale production, that is artisanship rather than mass production. So people were producing, but they were producing in small scale for their own need, and things were not produced in bulk. Okay. Secondly, primary agricultural economy geared towards self-sufficiency, not market exchange. So, whatever agricultural activity or economy were performed by the people, it was to cater their basic needs, to meet their needs, not it was for the purpose of market. Hmm? At the same time, surplus was little. It means the surplus was only for the family, so that whenever the grains or necessary items are finished, they could use that for their own needs. It is said that division of labor is very little, as society was homogeneous, class was not there. That's why looking into all these industries were not there. Different organizations that we find in the present society are not there. So the division of labor was also very little. Limited variation in social classes. Okay, so as I've said, society is homogeneous, so social classes is also limited. Parochialism, undeveloped transportation, limited contact with outside world. So people have very limited contact with the outside world, as transportation was not there, urban rural communication was not there, movement was not there. All these things have been explained in the earlier slide. That's why it is said that pre-industrial society have the characteristics of parochialism also. Now, probably I believe, yes, this is our last slide. And here, actually, I have just distinguished between pre-industrial society and industrial society so that you can clearly understand how these two types of society are different. Now, you see, social structure is simple, social structure is complex. See, in pre-industrial society, if class of division of labor is less, then definitely social structure is simple. A movement of people is not there. We find less number of institutions. So social structure is definitely simple, unlike the industrial society where social structure is complex. Less scope of division of labor, that I have already said earlier. And in industrial society, there is more division of labor and specialization because of development of industries where people are into different sectors in the process of production of a particular thing. Few status and roles. It is based on personal talents and abilities. Okay, so status and roles are very less in pre-industrial society, and in industrial society it is said that it is based on personal abilities and talents. Status and roles are on the basis of personal abilities and talents. If you are more talented, you have more status and you have more roles. Okay, so this is how the third point is also contrasted. Coming to the fourth point, social institutions other the family and kinship are not are either non-existent or in a rudimentary stage. So it is said that social institutions are not very much functional other than family and kinship. Okay, and it is said in terms of industrial sociology, number 4, 1 to 3, number 4 says a vast number of status and roles emerges. So as people have more capability, vast number of role emerges, and at the same time it is said that the importance of family and kinship in social structure is getting reduced, and other institutions are also playing their part. Domination of primary groups such as family kinship, small communities, etc., and relationship are personal and individual. Emotions and needs are considered. Okay, so in pre-industrial society, family do have a very important role. They do have a say. They do play a role. But in in industrial society, the role of family is withering away because we do find migration. We do find people are into the cities from their own native villages for the purpose of the livelihood, where definitely family or our elder one doesn't have much say. At the same time, to cater our emotional needs or our different needs, we do find different types of institutions, emotional needs, or we can say entertainment needs. In village, in sorry, not village, sorry, in pre-industrial society, you'll find that people used to sit together, have a talk. But in industrial society or modern time, this type of phenomena is not very much visible. Rather, people actually love to spend their time in some other way also. So this is how our emotional needs or our other types of needs are being fulfilled in the industrial society. So I believe these two distinction have very nicely pointed out the difference between pre-industrial society and industrial society. So with this, I finished my presentation. Thank you, dear students.